Welcome to the Know. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
And I'm Gus Sorola.
Uh-oh, might be time to bust out that YouTube is over party hashtag all over again. Get it trending.
After a little bit of controversy over the last few months, it looks like content creators aren't the only ones talking about pulling a GTFO on YouTube. Some of the world's largest companies have now started boycotting the platform.
And this is actually a very interesting discussion too, because it dovetails with what a lot of creators have been dealing with. So some of the world's biggest advertisers like Verizon, AT&T, and Johnson & Johnson all added their names to the list of boycotters this week, pulling their ads from YouTube over the way the company chooses to place advertisements alongside extremely controversial videos.
That's putting it lightly, because when we say controversial, we're not talking about videos asking whether or not toilet paper rolls need to be over or under. We're talking about, they do it under in the bungalow, if you noticed.
Here's the thing, is anytime I encounter that in a bathroom, I just have to change it.
Maybe that's how they've chosen to live their lives. You can't fix it.
I can fix them.
We're talking about videos promoting hate speech and terrorism. There are
a little bit different than toilet paper.
Way worse. There are now more than 250 massive companies participating in the boycott, which could result in the loss of hundreds of millions of advertising revenue for YouTube.
But let's get a little bit of background on how this all started. So over the last few weeks, YouTube's been under fire from major European advertisers over the placement of their videos. UK-based The Times reports that these videos had to do with videos posted by controversial hate preachers, rape apologists, and homophobic extremists banned from entering Britain.
That's never good.
No, you can understand why advertisers don't necessarily want to be displayed next to some of those videos.
That's never good. This apparent lack in review standards for ad placements led to a massive boycott from companies, featuring a list of over 250 advertisers like Marks & Spencer, Lloyds Bank, O2, L'Oreal, RBS, the BBC, Channel 4, Toyota, ITV, Aviva, McDonald's, Tesco, Heinz.
A bunch.
A bunch.
Even the British government joined in on the whole YouTube is over party, pulling their ads as well. Google was summoned to the UK Cabinet Office after the government discovered their advertisements were also appearing on these types of videos.
A government spokeswoman said, digital advertising is a cost-effective way for the government to engage millions of people in vital campaigns, such as military recruitment and blood donation.
She went on to say, Google is responsible for ensuring the high standards applied to government advertising are adhered to and that adverts do not appear alongside inappropriate content. We have placed a temporary restriction on our YouTube advertising pending reassurances from Google that government messages can be delivered in a safe and appropriate way.
Along with all those boycotters, ISBA, an organization that represents British advertisers, also called for Google to change how its ad placements work. And now this week, we've seen a number of American companies follow suit, with Verizon, AT&T, and Johnson & Johnson joining the fray.
AT&T said, we are deeply concerned that our ads may have appeared alongside YouTube content promoting terrorism and hate. Until Google can ensure this won't happen again, we are removing our ads from Google's non-search platforms.
So what does YouTube have to say about all this? Last week, following The Guardian pulling its ads, a YouTube spokesman responded, we have strict guidelines that define where Google ads should appear, and in the vast majority of cases, our policies work as intended, protecting users and advertisers from harmful or inappropriate content.
The spokesman went on to say, we accept that we don't always get it right, and that sometimes ads appear where they should not. We're committed to doing better, and we'll make changes to our policies and brand controls for advertisers.
Naturally, all of that lost money affects parent company Google as well, which has prompted an official response from them. In a blog post this week, Chief Business Officer Philip Schindler made a slew of promises saying that they will do better. Those include more fine-tuned controls, a safer default setting for what types of videos brands will appear next to, and an easier way to specify exclusions.
According to Schindler, they're not only hiring more people to make the review process better, they're also doing what they can to develop new tools powered by machine learning.
But according to many, these steps just aren't going to go far enough. Brian Weiser, a media industry analyst at Pivotal Research, said, they're saying they're trying harder, that's insufficient. They don't seem to understand the scale of the perceived problem.
And all told, this could be a pretty big problem for Google in the long run. Advertising is an enormous part of the tech giant's business, generating more than $22 billion in the fourth quarter of 2016 alone.
That's 1 quarter.
There's a lot of money. Yeah, that's 1 quarter.
Funny enough, this isn't the first time YouTube's been embroiled in a bit of controversy over its advertising practices, only the last time it was from the other side. Back in the fall, there was a pretty big row among YouTubers about what content can and can't be monetized with videos. Some popular YouTubers like Philip DeFranco were informed that their videos would no longer be monetized because they had content that wasn't covered by YouTube's advertiser-friendly guidelines.
Others reported that a number of their videos had also been demonetized for not being ad-friendly, and those videos ranged from gameplay to beauty vlogs and beyond.
At the time, that led to cries of censorship from the platform's users, but this is what YouTube was afraid of all along, having advertisers start leaving en masse, because if there are no more advertisers, there's no more money.
And then there's no money for creators, and then the creators go away, and then YouTube is done.
Vicious cycle. Of course, the same thing goes for there being no content, but hey, that's the advertisers that are actually leaving right now.
Right. Now, when it comes down to YouTube's options, they're actually fairly limited in what they can do if the advertisers don't like the solutions they've been offering as of this week. With 400 hours of content uploaded every minute, you wonder how many people would Google have to hire to vet every moment of content published on the platform? It's a big number.
It's a lot.
It's 72,000 people. We're assuming 8-hour shifts, and we're assuming that they
7-day work weeks.
7-day work weeks, 8 hours a day. So it'd have to be higher than that even. That's a lot. That's impossible.
Yeah, no bathroom breaks. Which is why the filters exist in the first place and why YouTube tries to automate so much of its process. And unfortunately, the filters are working at such a broad level, it's hard to account for all scenarios. The end result tends to work out poorly for everybody.
So we could see YouTube change its policies in ways that, in the long run, make it a little bit harder for content creators to either make money or say what they want to say if the ad-friendly content guidelines get stricter with a pre-approval process, maybe closer to something like what we see on Twitch. And this is something YouTube did in the past, but with Twitch, where you have to apply to become a partner in order to monetize your videos. If you don't go through an application process, you get nothing.
It'll be interesting to watch how YouTube handles the situation and whether or not there's going to be any fallout.
Now, and since we are talking about YouTube here, yeah, probably. There will be some fallout. What do you guys think of advertisers boycotting YouTube? Let us know in the comments.
For future updates on all things YouTube, remember to like this video and subscribe to The Know. In a blog post this week, Chief Business Officer Philip Schindler made a slew of
A slew.
In a blog post this week, Chief, god damn it.
Beyond.
At the time, that led At that time, I'm getting in my own head. At the time, that led to